Okay, so it says name and describe 3 methods of implementing a new computer system. For each one, describe the type of situation where the method might be used. Okay, so this video may take a little bit longer. Now, I'm not going to just bang on here and show you, I'm going to direct you in a way to a resource because this is 9 marks. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to describe each method, because there's 4 different methods that you could describe. You've only got to describe 3, and then obviously we've got to describe the situation where each might be used. Right, so I'm going to direct you towards this resource, okay, which is ICT Lounge. Now, this is the page that says stage 7.6, stage 4, implementing a system. Okay, so now what it is, at some point in a company, their computers simply need to be probably completely renewed. They may need new computers, maybe new types of computers they may want to introduce. Okay, they've got to update technology. They cannot be running the same old computers again and again and again, over and over. Okay, so a systems analyst will go into this company. They will analyze what's going on. Okay, so here we are. They will design a new system. They will develop it and test it. They will put it in place. And then obviously they'll create the documentation, evaluate it, and it'll go round again. Okay? But there's 4 different stages of implementation. So first of all, there could be a direct changeover. They could pilot a system. They could parallel run 2 systems. Or they could do a phased implementation. Okay? So, here we are, the keywords right there. So first of all, let's look at the direct system. Okay? So the direct changeover. Now, what this simply is that they will just simply take out the old system completely and put the new system in place straight away. This is an incredibly quick changeover. It's obviously got its advantages and disadvantages. Okay, you don't need to discuss the advantages and disadvantages in the system. Okay, but it's all they would do is a direct changeover where they would simply take out the old system and put the new system in place. Okay, so then there's parallel running. Okay, so what that would do is that means that they will run the old system along the new system. Okay, so now the reason why they would do this is because the new system might not be perfect. So what they would do is that as they're running the old system, which does work, but obviously as its faults, has become dated, okay, they will put the new system in place. There's going to be problems with the new system. And what they would do is they will need to basically debug or make improvements to the system as it's going along. So as you can see, but parallel running has got very little disadvantages. It's obviously much more expensive because the systems analyst may need to be there longer. Okay, there will be running costs involved, obviously with 2 systems. Okay, but as the old system's in place, the staff could be trained up on a new system. So, next one is pilot running. Now, this may what pilot running is that they may run the new system on one computer, okay, or for example in one department or in one building, see how it goes, experiment with it, improve it, and then when they feel that that the system is good enough to go ahead, they will simply change over to the new system. Okay, once they've pilot run it, just to make sure. So it says changeover involves introducing the new system into one part of the company first, then rolling it out into other departments later. Now, a situation where they may do this, for example, like you've got, for example, here, if a company had 3 departments, a warehouse, payroll and sales, the new system could be installed into the warehouse, its branches first. And then the old system would still be used in the payroll and sales department. If the new system was a success, where the warehouse would, if it's a new success, then it would be installed in the other 2 branches later. Okay, that's simple. Then there's the phased implementation. Okay, so what this does is this type of changeover is what it says on the tin. It's going to phase the old system out. Okay, so this is when a new system is implemented at one part at a time. Could be a new software, could be new hardware. Okay, so they may, for example, put the hardware in place, then they may put the software in place, then they may put, basically until basically it's phased out until it's fully replaced by the new system. So this is more of a gradual implementation. Okay, so this is basically implementation means to put something in place. That's all it means. Okay, so now we've got to think of situations where that the implementation would be successful. Okay, sorry, where it would be where the method is the most suitable. Okay, so this is where we've got to discuss ideas. So for the direct changeover, you're going to discuss what the direct changeover is. Okay, now you need to give an example of where a direct changeover would be suitable. Okay, so direct changeover, best where you want a quick changeover. You simply use the old system one day and then start using it the next. Okay, so that's the situation where it would be suitable. So if you cannot afford to lose any data, then the parallel running is simply for you. Okay, so now we can read through those obviously on Teach ICT, but what I think might be a good idea if we look at the answers here. Now I don't usually want to do this, but it may be a bit clearer. Okay, so you can see you get 1 mark for each point. So direct changeover, as we said, when a new system replaces the system that is immediately overnight. So what happens is with some places, for example, I've worked in supermarkets where they've actually updated the tills and they do it overnight. Then I walk in the next day and we've got a new system. So a small organisation which can afford to lose data is where this system needs to be up and running immediately. Okay, and where the new system can be thoroughly tested as it goes along. Now, the parallel running is when an organisation cannot afford to lose large amounts of data. And it would take too long to re-enter all the data, and basically it's where time has to be taken. So they have to parallel run it to make sure that all the data is gone from the old system to the new system. Now, phased implementation, okay, where an organisation is clearly defined as separate processes where the new system needs to be thoroughly tested first. Okay, so basically where they need, maybe where there's departments that are completely separate, so they need a phased implementation. Okay, where it's just not possible to do a direct changeover or a parallel running changeover because their processes may be completely separate. The departments might be totally separate and they don't work together. So a pilot running. Now this would be good. For example, if you've got some shops that have separate branches, they may have 6 separate branches. So they would pilot run the new system in a small branch that's not very busy. When they know that works and it's working well, then they will simply then roll it out to the other branches. Okay? Right, so I hope that helps you. So give that question a go.